Okay, next is the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Okay, this act is a very significant act. In 2002, largely the act was enacted largely in response to widespread corporate accounting scandals. Okay, so the issue was that there are a lot of businesses that have done wrongdoings in terms of accounting practices. Among the examples is Enron and WorldCom. Made fraudulent financial reporting a criminal offense. Okay, so the act aims at making fraudulent financial reporting as a criminal offense. Okay, something that can be brought into the criminal law. And it strengthened penalties for corporate fraud. And the Act requires corporations to establish codes of ethics for financial reporting and develop greater transparency in financial reporting to their investors and other stakeholders. So it's a lot about transparency. It's a lot about reporting of financial information among the businesses. Public Company Accounting Oversight Board is a board that is executed through the enactment of Sarbanes-Oxley Act. It monitors accounting firms auditing public corporations and establish standards and rules for auditors in accounting firms. So basically, it looks at audit. The audit of public corporations. It looks at auditing practices of public corporations. SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, has worked to overhaul PCAOB quality control rules to improve the board and its inspection. Board must also overcome obstacles with foreign auditing firms. And an important requirement in Sarbanes-Oxley Act is with regards to auditor and analyst independence. Section 201 of the Act prohibits registered public accounting firms from providing both non-audit and audit services to a public company. So basically, it requires that the audit firms to not give out auditing and other services at the same time to a public company, to a company, because when audit firms do more than one of those tasks, if they do audit, if they do other services and then they also do audit, then their audit is no longer independent. Okay, because they have a vested interest. They receive money from giving other services. So when they perform audit on the company that they give other services, then they might their auditing work might be biased, might be affected by their relationship through other services. Okay, so it requires that public accounting firms should not be providing both non-audit and audit services. They can provide multiple non-audit, but not with audit service. Then enables SOX to ensure compliance with the requirements for more detailed financial disclosures representing public companies' true condition. National Securities Exchanges and Registered Securities Association have adopted similar conflict of interest rules for security analysts, brokers, and dealers. So, in terms of auditor and analyst independence, mandating that auditors should not do other non-auditing services to the same client, that is also being applied to analyst work. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act also comes up with rules regarding whistleblower protection. Okay, so whistleblower refers to usually employees of a company that finds unethical practices of the company, want to report that wrongdoing to some authority. Okay, so these employees that have this sensitive information and want to disclose this to higher authority so actions can be made, these people are called whistleblowers. Okay, and whistleblowers are usually threatened by their companies. Okay, if they disclose the sensitive information about the company, a company's unethical practices, they usually risk themselves with being fired by the company, being terminated. Okay, so and whistleblower protection is about protecting the these employees from being being fired. Employees of public companies and accounting firms are accountable to report unethical behavior. So the basic thing is the whistleblower protection states that employees of public companies and accounting firms are accountable to report unethical behavior. They should report unethical behavior. And in order to do that, the whistleblower protection provides some protection, okay, to these employees. Among the protection is that it prohibits the employer from taking certain actions against employees who lawfully disclose private employer information to parties in a judicial proceeding. So the whistleblower protection prohibits employer from taking certain action if the employee disclose the company's information for judicial proceeding. Okay, it's not it doesn't protect the employees from just publishing the private information to the public, but it protects the employee for the disclosure of information in a judicial proceeding. Whistleblowers granted a remedy of special damages and alternative fees to those employees, because when the employees wants to start with the legal proceeding, sometimes they incur costs. So whistleblowers are granted a remedy for those fees that they need to pay. This law did not protect certain whistleblowers from being penalized prior to the financial crisis. Okay, so even though this law tries to protect the whistleblowers, but there were circumstances that it is insufficient. Okay, it prompted a provision for a stronger whistleblower protection in the Dodd-Frank Act. And then Sarbanes-Oxley Act also covers the cost of compliance, because the national cost of compliance can be extensive, such as internal costs, external costs, auditors' fees. Studies show although compliance costs were high shortly after SOX was passed, they have declined over the years. Next is the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act has created financial agencies, and it seeks to improve financial regulation, increase oversight of the industry and prevent risk-taking and deceptive practices. And it created two new financial agencies. First is the Office of Financial Research, and the other is Financial Stability Oversight Council. So the Office of Financial Research improves the quality. It aims to improve the quality of financial data available to government officials, and it aims to create a better system of analysis for the financial industry. Whereas the FCOC has the objective to monitor the market, identify threats, promote market discipline among the public, and respond to major risks that strengthen stability. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is an independent agency within the Federal Reserve System that regulates the offering and provision of consumer financial products or services under the Federal Consumer Financial Laws. Because average investors often do not understand the complex financial products they purchase. Therefore, sometimes when investors purchase financial products, they don't understand the impact, the risk that they are taking. Therefore, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau tries to make sure that the financial products are legitimate, do not give beyond risks beyond that which for the benefit of the consumer. Agency has supervisory power over credit markets as well as the authority to monitor lenders and ensure they are in compliance with the law. CFPB has oversight powers for institutions often accused of questionable dealings such as payday lenders and debt collectors. Then it also has the Whistleblower Bounty Program, where it offers some reward to whistleblowers. Okay, so if there are employees or some parties who have private information regarding certain companies' unethical acts, and they report that unethical behavior, they will be given a reward based on the amount of settlements out of the proceeding for that wrongdoing. So it says here, whistleblowers who report financial fraud to the Securities Commission are eligible to receive 10 to 30% of fines and settlements if their reports results in conviction of more than 1 million in penalties. SEC continues to attract high volumes of tips, though many alleged whistleblowers merely seek a monetary reward. So basically, this bounty program encourages whistleblowers by offering them 10 to 30% of reward based on the fines or settlements due to proceedings of misconduct. Okay, so but however, some of the whistleblowers merely seek a monetary reward, and sometimes they create false information. Okay, which or they use information that are not corroborated. Okay, so there are issues as well.